We're going to talk about everybody's favorite topic today, head lice. Oh my God. So, first of all, you have to know the mechanics of how lice work. So, there's a mommy lice. It's kind of the size of a little ant. And a mommy lice can lay up to 12 eggs a day, and they take about a week to hatch. They will always lay the eggs closest to the scalp in the warmest areas because that's where you're incubating their eggs, so to speak. As soon as those eggs hatch, they move around, they kind of give you a little bite, and that's where the itching comes from because they're feeding on you. The mommy egg has to actually glue itself down to the hair. So one of the best ways to prevent head lice in schools, especially that have a great infestation, is to put some kind of oil in the hair close to the scalp and massage it in everywhere so that when the mommy lice tries to lay the egg, it actually won't stick. Not only that, but the oil close to the scalp will actually stop the mom from being able to move and will suffocate her, killing her as well. So good treatment. You'll have silky smooth hair. The other thing to know about lice is that almost every one of the chemicals that you can find, like Rid and Knit Be Gone, I think it's called, over the counter, all of that stuff is no good anymore. All the lice that are around now are pretty much resistant to all of that stuff. And it's a lot of chemicals. It doesn't work. Don't spend your money and don't expose your child to it. One of the best treatments is that same oil that you're using, olive oil, coconut oil, tea tree oil, smells pretty nice. Massage it all over and go to sleep at night with a cap with all of your hair up in the shower cap. And that way it prevents not only the lice from moving around and laying eggs, but when the lice do hatch, it prevents them from moving and suffocates them as well. And you want to do that for about a week. You also need to clean all the bedding, all the clothing, especially jackets and things that had hoods, chairs where your hair might have come into contact with, and make sure that you put any dress-up area clothes or hats, things like that, that kids especially might have shared hairbrushes, in a garbage bag tied with a knot, and don't open it for about a month. Any bedding, clothing, etc., it's not the washing that gets rid of them, it's actually the heat from the dryer cycle. So you want to do that as well. And also make sure to check the car and the car seats because that's where the lice live. Now, one of the problems that we face, for example, here in Los Angeles, we have Los Angeles Unified School District. They have changed the regulations because the way the school districts work is that they get money for every day of attendance that a child comes to school. And so if I send you home and you have lice and you don't come to school for 2 or 3 days, the school doesn't make money for those 2 or 3 days that the child isn't in school. And as such, they now have a policy where they don't care if kids come to school with lice. And so we've got a lot more cases of lice going around because nobody's actually stopping them. Most child care centers, however, will have a knit-free policy. A knit is the egg that the mommy lays. And for example, our preschool has a knit-free policy. So if we find a child that has lice, we will send that child home. They can't return until they've had a head check, and we make sure here in the office that they are knit-free, and then we will check everybody else in the classroom to ensure that that class is also safe. If you are in Los Angeles, there are companies like Hair Whisperers and Knit Pickers that will come to a school or a child care center and do a check of the kids for free because they know that they're going to get business from all of you. And the way to check for lice is you always want to take everything off of the hair. I've got a clip in mine, and you want to open it up to the scalp, especially behind the ears and in the nape of the neck and up here where it's the warmest parts of the head. And you want to do it in sunlight if you can, or with a flashlight, because those eggs are about the size of a grain of sand. And you'll know that they're lice and not dandruff because you actually have to take your fingernails and pull the knit off of that hair because you'll see it kind of stick. And it's about a pearly white to a grayish color, depending on which lice laid it. And that's what I have to say about lice. Hopefully you'll never get them.